The mistake people make is thinking a crisis creates winners immediately. It does not. A crisis creates uncertainty. It creates fear. It creates a moment when the old rules stop working. But uncertainty alone does not create power. Power comes from the people who understand what happens next. Because every major disruption in history creates the same pattern. The old system weakens. Assets change hands. New opportunities appear. And the people who recognize the new reality early are the ones who shape the future. The Black Death was one of the greatest examples of this. But the same pattern appeared again during the financial crisis of 2008 and the global disruption of 2020. Different century, different crisis, same mechanism. Remember to like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Before the Black Death, European society was built around land. Land meant wealth. Land meant status. Land meant control. The nobles owned the estates. The peasants worked them. For centuries, this system remained stable because there were too many workers and not enough opportunities. A peasant had little bargaining power. If one worker left, another could replace him. Labor was cheap, but the plague changed the equation. When millions died, labor became scarce. Suddenly, workers could negotiate. They could demand higher wages. They could move to another town. They could refuse conditions they previously had no choice but to accept. The balance of power shifted. But here is the part many people miss. The biggest winners were not always the people who gained more wages. They were the people who built around the new reality. Merchants saw that the world was changing. They understood that wealth was moving away from traditional land ownership and towards trade, finance, and organization. A noble might own a huge estate, but if he had debts and no workers, that estate became a problem. A merchant with money could step in. They could buy. They could lend. They could create networks. The crisis created the opening. The merchants built the system that came after. This is exactly what happens in modern crises. During the 2008 financial crisis, many people saw only collapse. Housing prices fell. Banks failed. Businesses struggled. But investors with capital saw opportunities. Distressed properties were purchased. Companies were bought at reduced valuations. Entire industries were reorganized. The crisis did not create wealth by itself. It created a moment where prepared people could move. The same principle existed after the Black Death. The assets remained. The ownership changed. The Medici family understood this better than most. The Medici Bank, founded in Florence in 1397, became one of Europe's most influential financial institutions. Their power did not come from controlling armies. It came from controlling relationships. They connected people who needed money with people who had money. They financed merchants. They provided loans to rulers. They created networks across Europe. Their influence came from becoming essential. And this is a pattern we see today. The most powerful companies are often not simply the ones selling products. They are the ones providing the infrastructure others depend on. Just as merchants controlled financial networks in Renaissance Europe, modern companies often gain influence by controlling platforms, distribution, and systems. The difference between being wealthy and being powerful is this. Wealth gives you resources. Systems give you influence. A person can own a valuable asset, but a person who controls the network around that asset can influence thousands of people. The merchants after the Black Death understood this. They did not just buy land. They built banks. They did not just trade goods. They built connections. They transformed temporary opportunities into institutions. The Renaissance itself grew from this changing environment. After the population collapse, resources became available in different ways. Cities had new wealth. Merchants had more influence. Investment increased. Money flowed into art, education, architecture, and science. The Renaissance was not created by creativity alone. It was also created by a new economic structure that allowed creativity to grow. A society had changed, and new possibilities appeared. Again, the same pattern appeared recently. After COVID-19 disrupted the global economy. Some businesses disappeared. Others adapted. Remote work expanded. Online services grew. New companies emerged. Old industries were forced to rethink how they operated. The crisis did not guarantee success for anyone. The winners were the people who understood the direction of change and positioned themselves around it. But history also gives a warning. Every new winner eventually faces the same challenge. Success creates competition. The merchants who challenged the feudal order eventually became powerful elites themselves. The industrialists who transformed society eventually became the establishment. The technology companies that disrupted traditional industries eventually became some of the most influential organizations in the world. The outsiders of one era often become the gatekeepers of the next. This is why the most important question during a major transition is not, who is winning today? It is, who understands where value is moving? After the Black Death, many people focused on what had been destroyed. The merchants focused on what was becoming valuable: labor, trade, credit, information. They built around the needs of the new world. And that is how temporary advantage becomes lasting power. The Black Death created the opening. But openings do not create winners by themselves. The winners were the people who understood what the world needed after the collapse. They built banks. They built networks. They built institutions. They turned uncertainty into opportunity. Because history is not only shaped by those who survive a crisis, it is shaped by those who organize what comes next. The plague changed the balance of power in Europe. It moved influence away from old landowners and towards those who controlled money, trade, and information. A new world was forming, and the people who recognized that change early were the ones who helped design it. Because whenever an old system breaks, someone will build the new one. The only question is, who will understand the change before everyone else? Remember to like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.